Hey, hello, welcome to another session. So, in the last one, I was able to get my context as a JSON and feed that to my expression evaluation table thing, and I was able to get specific output from the table, which I expected, right? So I passed in, for example, a desired fish. Oh yeah, I passed in a season fall and guest count 8, and it matched to season fall and guest count 8, and it got me a desired fish space ribs. So that's cool. So that's one piece of a puzzle that I wanted to create and explore decision logic stuff with. Now the next thing is to actually find a way to glue multiple decision logic pieces and utilize the table as well with. So let me show you what I mean. There's a bunch of systems out there. Camunda is the main inspiration source for me because you're able to create a graph of specific tasks. In this case, there's something happening in one task. It feeds the data into table, which we kind of implemented already. Then there's some if statement. If it gets in yes, then it goes into some other thing. If no, then it does something else, etc., etc. There's more example of Camunda things that are actually on production, right? You pass in some context, it feeds into some process, and it branches out into some other things. So yeah, this is the branching example, which is cool already. There's similar stuff in Unreal. They have a task, it feeds some context or values into another subtask. Specifically in Unreal, they have a decision behavior tree where, again, you have a task, it feeds stuff into the other task, and it feeds context values into other task, and it just branches out whenever it's reasonable. So this way you get like a tree of different behaviors for different things. So for this case, I want to experiment first with JsonLogic, which actually does exactly what I want. It's a easily configurable decision engine, already supported for, like, there's JavaScript. Where am I? Yeah, for JavaScript, PHP, Python, Ruby, Go. I know for a fact that there is a package for Rust to execute the logic, but I want to build it from scratch, kind of. So this is the thing that I want to do. You can provide some AND operator, which will accept an array, and inside the array there would be a node where the checker would see if 3 more than 1. So it's really descriptive. And this technically would be able in the end, like further down into multiple series, accept or feed data into the table that we built before, the configuration of a table, and provide output for the next node to execute. And this site is cool in a way that they have multiple operations supported, and you can build quite sophisticated pieces of logic and create some output. Now, to work with JSON, I would need to have a Serde. So I am using Serde for my JSON operations. And I found a simple example of data being read by JSON Serde, and there's a cool example to serialize the JSON into a struct, which I'm going to copy completely and start building out as a test first my thing. So I kind of researched it in advance, but I want to see how it slowly kind of gets manifested. This is the thing I want to have. So the first piece of the logic I want to have is actually more than. I actually tried to implement JsonLogic like a year before when I wasn't really familiar with Rust, and I failed so miserably. So at the moment I have a JSON of this single operation. I looked at it before because it's really simple. I actually targeted this, and yeah, in the example here you see that this logic actually kind of compiles into this expression, which is kind of cool, and this is easily configurable in any editor. Sorry. So this is going to be a more node. Yeah, let's call it more node. And it actually matches to a structure I want to have. Yeah, maybe let's call it an operation. And I already know for a fact that there's an alias. So JSON Serde allows you to accept some weird key, and you can map it to whatever thing you have. So, sorry. For example, I am receiving the more key, like here, but I want to have encode a specific word for it. So I have a bunch of numbers. I32. Yeah, let's have it I32 first. So this is a more node. Let's see if it actually maps first. So P for more node, operation of things. Yeah, this is trash already. More node is, oh, I need to make a debug in order to to see the data. All right. So I know for a fact that this actually compiled. Yeah, I didn't call the function. Yeah, let's call it. So in this example, more node is red, and it knows that there's an operation, which is nice. So just like with my table over here, I know I should be able to run it, right? I'm supposed to be able to run whatever logic piece I have, and since this is already a struct, I could impl more node and have a function execute, which would work with self. And So this is supposed to return true and nothing else. So this is returning, this operation they have is returning whatever value the var operator could give us. Var by filling equals apple, so they read a context data, they look into pi dot filling, which is equal to apple, and they check if it's an apple, and so equality is always true, and this more thing I'm sorry, is supposed to give us a bool. So yeah, let's have a check first, because I'm not sure if I could write a checker in here for a count of items, but the thing is, in order for this operation to work, there needs to be more than, so there needs to be 2 items. And I know for a fact that JsonLogic is very forgiving. And if something is weird with your data and it doesn't result into a proper value, then they just straight up return false. I have experimented with the data. They have a nice playground, actually. This is a playground. So for example, this, when you apply it, bam, it gives us a true. So and, so var temp 100. 100 is the temp 100 is less than 110. So immediately this branch is true and pi filling is apple. So true and true section and true section combined into another AND operator. All of them are true, so it returns a true. So this is cool. So this results into true, into false if there's some data missing. That's fine. Actually, let me hide my face. Yeah. All right. So this is nice. And if there's enough data, then I would return self operation at 0 is more than self dot operation at 1. This should be technically it. So I know that this is all right, and this is supposed to give us something. All right, I don't know the type. This is a prototype, so I can, I guess, read the P and just call it execute. I'm not providing context because this is another topic. Res. Technically, this res is supposed to be a true. I would expect to have res as true when it's executed, because again, it's reading into a vector 3 and 1. 3 is more than 1. True. Please work. It is true. If there's 10, and now it's false. So technically, I would be able to have pretty much all of these as simple structs and combine them into a more sophisticated thing. So right now this is just a more node, but this could be also a less node, right? So I have investigated that I could create another, like, entirely combining enum of all the things I would support, which I'm going to do now for a test. Sorry. Logic. And for the time being, it's just going to be a more node, a more, and its value is going to be of type this. I'm gonna need to show it because I am developing with a console and no tests in here. So this is supposed to be this, and when I read it, I substitute this. And when I receive the entire logic thing, this entire logic thing needs to have impl logic, supposed to have function of execute to, also giving a self. I have no clue what it will return because it's not about Boolean anymore. There might be more operations that get data and merging JSON values. Do look at the JsonLogic thing, it's actually quite cool. And let me print again. Logic is of this, whoops, self. So when I read it, I execute it, and I'm supposed to get to this place. And it's not gonna give us the outcome. I guess a simple result is enough of a simple this, and okay is also enough. Is it gonna work? So now we know for a fact that a potential combination of more operations is going to be built correctly, right? And potentially this place will have a match self, and it's gonna know if it's of more node. What was the thing? Was it like this? I forget. Then it's gonna print ln. Indeed, more node. If it's of type more node, and there would be operations. So let's call it a node, and maybe I could print it out. And is it gonna work even? Oh yeah, I need to make it exhaustive. Since this doesn't have anything else, then I can just... This is a test, because I just want to make it exhaustive, and that's it. Run. Crap. More is not found. Oh. This is supposed to be a more node. This? Crap. So. Use struct pattern instead, more node. I actually have no clue why is it giving me this. What? So this is actually a fun experimentation part. So this is supposed to be a more thing. Oh. How do I do this? Logic. It's supposed to be inside the logic. Since I'm here, yes. Logic, more node, more. If it's logic, if I am logic more, then its node is going to be a more node, which is defined up there. Yes. All right, so when I execute it further, I would be able to kind of recursively call execute method for every node in here, and its result would propagate up and up and up and up, and I would be able to build an entire tree of possible things. Eventually one of these nodes would be a node of operation, not variable extraction, not more or less, but a table thing. And I would be able to, I guess, result into calling some more serious operations. Well, there you go. A rather fast session, but I did get a very important thing that, yeah, I could totally create an entire configuration of application with just this. Why is it important? Well, there's a thing called logic apps Azure, right? They also have a JSON configuration that sequentially gets data, responds to events, everything described in JSON. So who am I to do something else which is not similar to all of these examples? Unreal, with their decision trees and things like that. So yeah, I hope you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.